Well, Danny, progression in the Emirates FA Cup. We certainly didn't make it easy for ourselves, though, did we?
We didn't at all. That's what disappoints me the most. Obviously, players have off days, and they have moments where they're sloppy in possession or lazy, or they choose the wrong decision in possession, etc. We were just lacklustre all over the pitch, really, and quite laboured in our play going forward, and then reactions to win the ball back. Just wasn't us, really. We had certain moments where we did look like ourselves, but just not enough of them.
You said that for some of the time we were sloppy in possession. Was that exemplified because we had so much possession, didn't we?
Yeah, to a certain degree. I said that at half time. I mean, it is difficult when opposition set up so defensively, with 8 men behind the ball, just looking to block space, and you're having to just move it from side to side as quickly as possible, work the switches and get down the sides, and then deliver balls into the box. We didn't do that enough. We switched the play, and then we drove into wide areas, but we just didn't deliver the ball for whatever reason. We checked out and then went back the other way. So we were just doing that far too much and being too predictable, really, and safe. We just needed to make penetrative runs in behind and then balls over the top just to stretch the play.
Talk us through James Berry's goal that never was.
Yeah, well, apparently it was handball. So the linesman give it as a goal because the ball went over the line, and then there was a huge discussion of what it hit next after his arm, apparently. So that was the reason for that. It was a bit confusing, to be honest. So it was what it was.
Great time to take the lead, though.
Of course it was. Yeah, I mean, I think we deserved the goal, and then the way it came was pleasing to see because it was off set piece. But again, it just goes back to us, and the standards we've set over pre-season was so high. I mean, probably expected a little bit too much today after the first 10 minutes because they were the way they set up. But there's no excuses. The lads have got to problem solve on the pitch sometimes themselves.
To what extent do you think that the second half mirrored the first in terms of the dynamics of the game?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, we said to them at half time, we got into them, and we said we need to speed up the play, get in behind them as much as possible just to stretch the play and get them running back towards their own goal, really, instead of everything being in front of them. So we made a point of that, and then deliveries into the box. I mean, you don't have to necessarily pick someone out, but making them defend in the box. Defenders don't want to defend crosses, so the more crosses you put in, the more chance A, someone might get on the end of it, or B, there might be a poor clearance, drops to one of our players, and we've got a goal. So from that viewpoint, it was imperative we really did put them under pressure.
A bit of a debate about one of Wythenshawe's substitutes, wasn't there? What did you make of it?
Well, pretty obvious, really. I mean, he wasn't named on the team sheet, first and foremost, so to then put a player on the pitch as a sub who's not named on the team sheet, the rules say you can't do it, you can't just put anyone on. So that's a big error on their part. Whether the officials could have checked that before he came on, I don't know. I don't know whose responsibility it is, but we flagged it up straight away and said, look, the rules are the rules. You can't bring someone on who's not a named substitute. So we just raised that point, and the officials dealt with it after that.
Great end into the game, though, of course, with Alex Curran getting his second.
It was, but even against 10 men, we were still sloppy. We really were. We didn't, impose our game and the way we like to play and move the ball. We still didn't do it against 10 men to a certain degree, and got a bit lazy and backwards passes, putting ourselves under pressure. Just go forward, attack them, because they're a man down. It's a big pitch, and no doubt they would have been tiring towards the end as well.
Much to think about, I guess, ahead of next week's league opener.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we'll go into it full of confidence because, again, we have won the game. We've had a great pre-season. We'll have a look back at what we could have done better. If we come up against teams like that again, then we know exactly how to break them down and try and put them under more pressure and threaten the goal more.